Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Sister Jenna, founder of the Brahmakumaris Meditation Museums in the nation's capital. As you know, because of the COVID-19, a lot of changes have occurred in all of our lives globally. And we've closed down the museum just so that everyone can be safe, especially you. But I have to tell you that I've enjoyed just being with you in your homes or maybe somewhere around where you can just settle in. And the intention for this 6:30 to 7:30 daily meeting together is up for our spiritual nourishment. You know, after a while, a few days, as it moves on, the days move on, they're going to feel santosh. They're going to feel quite challenging and very, you know, testing, in which we might not really know what to do or how to do. And so it's my intention to have us come together and meet and basically just find ways to navigate through this together, because none of us are alone in this. Whether you're staying alone in your apartment or your home, let us know if you need anything. Just send a comment link and we'll do our best to see if we can facilitate or support. Or maybe you're at home with family or roommates, and after 2 or 3 days of the same faces and you weren't accustomed to talking to each other with deep meaning, hopefully these conversations will be something that can gather the family together to just sit and see what we can do. Today I wanted us to focus on positive thinking and how that actually works in our lives and what we can do. But before I go into a little bit of that and do our meditation on positive thinking as well, a friend of mine just called, Christopher Broughton, and if you're still looking for hand sanitizers, they've got a new product called Hand Biotic, and it's a hand sanitizer. It's alcohol-free, long-lasting, but apparently the astronauts use this. And so I'm going to be interviewing Christopher tomorrow on America Meditating Radio to find out more about this product, because as you know, you can barely, I don't even think you can get it on Amazon or in the stores anymore. So if there are some sanitizers available, we should at least find out where we can get them. But apparently it's doing quite well, and I'm very happy to hear that Chris's product is now available at a time of need. He would have never expected that a hand sanitizer product would be so important during this um, coronavirus virus situation that we all find ourselves in. So let's take a moment and just pause for a little. Today our friend Stephanie Rule on MSNBC asked us all to just breathe because it can become a lot. I was so happy that MSNBC actually took the initiative to invite their viewers to just breathe for a little bit and to just pause for a little. It will cost you nothing, as she said, and it's so true. And what makes our time so valuable is that we can get to do that for an hour every day online. Cost us nothing. It'll cost us nothing. So we'll just breathe. So let's just take a few moments of introspection and silence just for a minute and collect our thoughts and remind yourself that the natural nature of the soul is to be pure, is to be peaceful, is to be loving, and is to be kind. That we really just are this at the soul level. We are pure, we are peaceful, we are kind, and we are loving human beings. That's really what the soul is. Just hold that for a minute and breathe that in. No more news for the rest of the night. It's not needed. No more of that thinking. How simple it was just for us to have three qualities: love, peaceful, kind, pure, four. They're such simple thoughts. Just remind yourself. I am pure. I am peaceful. I am kind. And I am love. Take a deep breath. Didn't that feel a whole lot better? Today I bring you the news as well. The instrument that was very responsible for my own spiritual awakening, Daddy Janki, who is now the spiritual rock and foundation of the Brahma Kumaris. We've heard recently she's not doing so well at the age of 104. And so I'd like to pay tribute to her wellness and invite you to travel with me for another 5 minutes to send all of your healing, loving vibrations to Daddy Janki. If you don't know who she is, just Google her. We're going to need icons and energies of the elders at this time that can guide us, because their presence makes a very big difference on the planet. Our tomorrow's streaming will be a 45-minute documentary movie on Daddy Janki's life. And I can guarantee you that when you watch that documentary, you'll understand the power and the need of such human beings in our lives, giving us blessings and guiding us and spreading the fragrance of spiritual love and spiritual purity wherever they go, but also from a distance. Just through the power of thought, she can feel our love, and you'll be able to feel hers too. So tune in tomorrow at 6:30 to 7:30 for that video documentary on her life. So here's Daddy Janki on, I think the title of her sharing will be Understanding God. She will be speaking in her mother tongue of Hindi, but there'll be English translation. So please enjoy it, and as you're watching it, feel her pure vibrations, but also send her your good wishes and pure vibrations as well.
Of different culture, different race, different religion.
इंग्लिश में एक ही शब्द आएगा लव, पर हिंदी में इसके 4 शब्दों में मैं अर्थ सुनाऊंगी। पहले कहेंगे लव माना प्यार। मनुष्य प्यार के प्यासी है, शांति की भिखारी है। प्यास है मनुष्य को प्यार की, जिस कारण से जहाँ से भी थोड़ा प्यार हो जाता है ना, बेचारे झूठे प्यार में फंस जाते हैं। परंतु अभी एक समझ चाहिए, मुझे कौन सा प्यार चाहिए जिसमें सच्चाई हो, शांति हो, उसमें अंदर से निष्काम भावना हो, निस्वार्थ होने के कारण जो प्यार होता है ना, वो मतलब का प्यार नहीं होता है, सच्चा प्यार होता है जिसके ऊपर कहा जाता है प्रेम। गोपियों का भगवान के साथ प्रेम का गायन है। प्रेम में नियम भी नहीं, बिल्कुल प्रेम से फिर प्रेम वो काम करता है जैसे ईश्वरी स्नेह के संपन्न बनते जाते हैं। प्यार सच्चा हो, प्रेम अतीन्द्रिय सुख के झूले में से झूल रहे हैं, मिलकर के प्रेम से बांध कर चल रहे हैं, ईश्वरी स्नेह में संपन्न बन रहे हैं। जैसे कि माला के मन के ईश्वरी स्नेह में बस भगवान के समीप आ रहे हैं। तो ईश्वरी स्नेह में संपन्न हो जाना, प्रभु के गले का हार बन जाना। चौथा फिर है प्रीत बुद्धि। जैसे पांडवों को कहा जाता है निश्चय से प्रीत बुद्धि विजयंती, संशय से विपरीत बुद्धि विनशंति। तो दिन प्रतिदिन जितना ज्ञान से प्यार को जैसे समझते जाते हैं, वो प्यार की डोर इतनी मजबूत हो जाती है जैसे पतंग की डोर। यहाँ से पकड़ के बैठे हैं, ऊपर बुद्धि लगी पड़ी हो, ऐसी लगी पड़ी हो, एक परमात्मा दूसरा न कोई। और हम सब आत्माओं के साथ भी रूहानी कनेक्शन है, और विश्व के सर्व आत्माओं से भी सबके लिए कल्याण भाव का है। कोई हमारे लिए बुरा नहीं, कोई हमारे लिए ये अच्छा है ये न अच्छा है, नहीं, सब अच्छे हैं। ऐसे अपने दृष्टि में रूहानी स्नेह की रहम दिल दृष्टि वृत्ति महासुखकारी बन जाती है। तो प्यार एक शब्दों में तो क्या क्या सुनाएंगे, पर दिल भावना वृत्ति दृष्टि सच्चाई प्रेम की अनुभव करा देती है। तो भगवान कहते बच्चे मैं प्यार का सागर हूँ, शांति का सागर हूँ, आनंद का सागर हूँ। तुम भी मेरे बच्चे, ज्ञान सागर के बच्चे, प्यार के सागर में डुबकियाँ लगाते लगाते पावन बन जाओ।
Welcome back. I can watch that video 100 times over because in my heart I know that it's been 80 years of Daddy Janky having positive thinking. And I'd like you to just think about that for yourself, what it would be like for you to be looking back 50 years later in your life or 60 years later in your life and having nurtured positive thoughts in the midst of some cobwebs, of course, but you were very sure and you were very positive that positive thoughts actually will lead you to positive results. Growing up, we've always been told of positive things, and there are times in which we would get upset or get sad, and our parents would say, "It's okay, you're going to be fine. You got to think like this. You've got to send so and so good thoughts." And we're in a particular period in time that if we don't think ourselves through this particular situation that we find ourselves in globally, we're not going to make it. Um, and that's why, despite the fact that we can feel that there is an invisible shadow there's an invisible energy lurking in the atmosphere, that it's a very profound feeling. Today we had a contractor come over to the ashram, and it was odd because we were 6 feet apart, and I gave him gloves and hand sanitizers and making sure this and that, and it's a different time. I don't think I've ever given gloves as a gift to anyone who has come into the ashram, and today I did. So I want you to have the positive thought to accept that change will be inevitable, that there's nothing that we're going to be able to do right now to go back a month or 2 or 3 or 4 months ago or a year ago or 5 years ago. If I go back 5 years from now, it's waste thoughts. It's not important, it's not valid for right now at this moment. So when you start to apply your positive thoughts, the first thing that I'd like you to do is just be present. Be present with where you are, with who's around you, what are the circumstances, whether you want to, love them or not. Just be present to the circumstance around you. Second thing is, I want you to accept it is what it is. It's an aspect of positivity. It is what it is. And the third thing is, if you had the power to change it, how would you change it? How would you rewrite that book? And so tonight, when you're laying in bed, I'd like you to take out a notebook and write down, what do you think would be the best life for you and for all of humanity? It can't be just only for you, but that your wish for your best life also transcends into the lives of other people. You see, our thoughts travel, and because we have a lot of these thoughts right now in the atmosphere of uncertainty and anxiety and fear, those thoughts are repeating themselves continuously in our personality. And that's creating the kind of fragrance in the atmosphere which doesn't feel safe right now. But if you accept that you have the power to change the way you want to handle this scene in your life, in this situation, that's positivity. And so your positive thoughts will be focused on the best story that you'd like to tell for yourself. So I started it off by reminding you that we must repeat to ourselves on a day-to-day basis, I'm a loving, I'm a pure, I'm a peaceful soul. Imagine repeating that over and over again every day. How do you think you will feel? And how will you meet others? In what way will you look deep into their hearts and speak to your child, your husband, your wife, your roommate, your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, even if your enemy comes knocking for help? I am a pure, peaceful, loving soul. And then you speak to the person from that place. That's bringing your positive thinking into action. We do eventually become what we think. And our beliefs are shaped based on the thoughts that we've had. If we believe we're going to get out of this, we will. If we believe we don't know what's going to happen and we think the worst, what do you think might happen? So it's in your hands, it's in my hands, for us to begin to use the soul's greatest resource at this time, the greatest healing power at this time, is to think positively. So the videos that we're going to share for meditation come from the Inclusion Revolution meditation album, which you can listen to on Spotify or I think on iTunes as well. So just Google Inclusion Revolution Together with Love by Sister Jenna. And that will take you into a little journey. So these videos, it's my intention to just invite you for the next 30 minutes. Breathe, pause, reflect, enjoy.
I'd like to begin with a greeting of peace, Om Shanti, which means Om, I am, and that refers to the inner being, and Shanti means peace, and it's a very beautiful expression to keep coming back to again and again. And in a way, it sums up what is essential spirituality, to be able to know what is essential for my life, which means to know who I truly am, to know the inner being, the self. That's really such an important aspect of being able to live a life in which there's happiness and love. And so often we've moved so far away from the aspects of truth and love and joy in our lives. And so I'd like us to be able to explore some of those reasons why things are the way they are, but also maybe we can find some different perspectives to look at the same story. And once we've been able to look at the same thing from a different angle, then maybe we're going to find some solutions. For me, spirituality is maybe three things. Being able to connect with myself once more, which sounds a bit odd, but it's the reality. We're connected so much with the external persona, we forget about connecting with the inner being. And secondly, to be able to connect with the divine, the source, whatever I may know the source to be. But how do I connect and draw what I need within myself? And thirdly, on the basis of these two aspects, to use this inner capacity that's now being developed and to be able to use my inner potential in the best possible way in the work that I do in the world and the relationship.
take this moment and settle inside yourself. Breathe in and exhale. At this moment, I gradually allow my thoughts to settle into peace. And carefully, I observe these thoughts, and I am able to sense if I, the being of consciousness, am in harmony with myself. As a soul, the soul feels everything, whether it is aware of it or not. The heart, even though physical, signals to either soul if I'm embracing or resisting, if I'm including or excluding, if I'm loving or if I'm hateful. So behind these eyes sits the living soul. In fact, I've come to realize that we are all souls, so we are all the same. Our stories are different, but we are the same in the form of being a soul. And that means we're all included. The soul feels uncomfortable when it excludes anyone because of an attachment to religion, race, gender, nationality, even the body. And every time I find myself excluding someone from my story, I too am excluded from another story. When we hurt, it's a sign that we're in need of a powerful lesson. So sitting in this meditation, I open myself to an unfolding, larger connection. For I, the soul, am a giver and a receiver of light. And in this consciousness of light, I can embrace the community of all souls and respect every soul for the journey that they're on, inwards and upwards. We all come from the same source, the divine, a source of love, peace, purity, kindness, and truth. As I sit here in this awareness, I can see and I can feel the many things I have in common with another. I can feel that my story is included with theirs and theirs with mine. In this natural awareness of inclusivity, when I think and speak and listen and see from behind my eyes, I release stereotypes and illusions from my world, because I, the soul, am energy, light, the life force. When I'm aware of this, I'm living a life of inclusivity. The more I experience the real I, the more I live from the source of love and kindness. I am a warrior of inclusivity, and I carry my weapons of love to include all and to be included by all. My journey is one from inwards and upwards, bringing with the real I a natural state of power and beauty. As a warrior of inclusivity, I'm unstoppable in my every move towards peace, unity, and love. Om Shanti. What if I no longer carried any attachments? Attachments about who I think I am or how someone else perceives me, or attachment to my country or my gender, attachment to a religion. What would it be like to be free of attachments to labels and to simply be loving? So just for a little while, I invite you to let go of attachments. What if I was no longer attached to my name? How does it feel? Let go of your attachment to your gender. You're no longer a man or a woman. Let go of your titles. Let go of your nationality, and experience yourself letting go of even your religion. Now let go of your body. If I don't have a name, a gender, a title, a nationality, a religion, or a body, then who would I think of? And who would think of me? It would be the Supreme Being that would think of me, and I would think of the Supreme. In this meditation, I invite you to sit in an experience of unlimited freedom in real inner power. Now gradually observe how the soul feels as it puts back on the awareness of the body, nationality, the religion, the title, the gender, and the name, and bring through these labels your experience of being with the divine and feeling free and at peace with yourself. Om Shanti. I rise above. I'm the master of my own mind. I sit here with a pure intention to gain mastery over my thoughts and therefore mastery over my words and actions. As I hear the thoughts through words of others, I ask myself, is that my truth? My original nature is one of love, peace, purity, truth, and joy. And sometimes when I hear the words that do not match my original nature, I have the choice to rise above and remember who I really am. As a master of my mind, I decide which thoughts stay and which thoughts must go. I choose to rise above. As I rise above in consciousness and interpretations of stories, narratives that no longer support my truth or present, a greater power, a greater peace, and acceptance for myself and others surrounds me in this moment. As a master of my mind, I rise above, replacing thoughts of fear, anger, greed, and divide. Thoughts of belonging, respect, love, and wisdom. As I rise above, I find clarity, a deeper meaning, and the courage to continue to move on. I rise above, and I remember who I am and why I'm here. And that is to love everyone the same. Let me sit in the state of being above.
I hope you were able to enjoy my homemade videos. I was in Florida last year, and I thought it would be just nice for us to kind of soothe our minds on images of the ocean, because water is so symbolic in helping us to stay grounded on many levels. So we started off today's segment on positive thinking, having the beautiful blessings and vibrations of Daddy Janki, who's 104, and definitely the spiritual pillar of the Brahma Kumaris. And we heard a nice message from Sister Jenti, which kind of reminded us of how to be more spiritual in these times. And then the meditations and the videos are just basically, this is just our time. This hour together is just for us. And if the family's home, you sit them together and have them decompress from all the anxiety and all the news. And just to find their own personal sense of just stillness, to just be a little bit more still on the inside. The beautiful meditation on God again. I've been talking a lot about where is God in all of this. All we hear is Corona or COVID, 19, or we might be hearing things about job layoff and insecurities. But in reality, we also need to bring the energy of God in our lives now more than ever. And when I think about the energy of God, I think about the soul being originally a pure being. I, the soul, am originally a pure being. And from that remembrance, I take it's like I go on a pilgrimage. And the pilgrimage that I'm going on is a pilgrimage of love. And that pilgrimage of love, the destination is sort of to settle, to rest in this unlimited experience of God being like an ocean, the vibration of God's energy, feeling like it's so huge, it's so massive, that when I dive into that ocean of love, who God is for me, then the energy starts to take me over. So it's almost as if I feel that this isolation and this quarantine and not being able to really hug and be with each other like we're accustomed to being with each other is our time to dive into the energy of God's love and God's purity and God's peace. And just imagine that there's scientific research out there that if you put a few glasses of water and you focus your thoughts, the molecules in the water changes. That if you have very angry thoughts, the molecule in that water changes. If you have very positive and happy thoughts, the molecules, they crystallize and show a much more beautiful image of what those thoughts were like. So if science is showing us that our thoughts can impact matter, then what will happen if I use my thoughts to perceive the energy of God is a pure remembrance, a pure being, a supreme being, equivalent to an ocean of love, an ocean of peace. And when I choose to remember God in that way, won't that crystallize me into that experience when I start to become the vibration of that love and the vibration of that peace? Churches are closing down. Mosques are closing. We are no longer given permission to meet more than 10 people in a gathering. So if our churches are closed, our mosques are closed, our temples are closed, our synagogues are closed, our yoga centers are closed, then what is this symbolizing to us? What is this period actually helping us to do? And I believe it's giving us a chance to focus inwards and to sort out these thoughts that have not been of service. If I have thoughts of this one's better or less than me. I like this one, but I don't like this one. Even till this day, I've even felt myself still feeling sometimes non-loving thoughts from people. I'm not saying they don't love me, but I can feel like they don't like me. And I'm able to pick up that vibration in them. And I know a lot of folks might say to you, you project what you want to, you reflect what you're projecting, or projection reflection. That's a strong possibility as well. But it doesn't dispute the fact that if someone has done or said something wrong to you or for you, that isn't real. It is real. I don't have to own it, but it is real. And so if you and I can still feel sometimes the waste or maybe a negative thought that someone might have about you, even though you don't hear it with words, the vibration is the proof. So I'd like to close off with you remembering your positive thinking counts. It matters. And the more positivity that you maintain during these times, I guarantee you, you will see the fruit of those thoughts in one way or the other. However they're going to manifest, they will. So if you think you can, you will. Keep thinking higher thoughts. Take this time to start to journal and write about the issues that are still disturbing your heart. And find the thought that you need to use during this period to erase or finish that feeling in you that doesn't make you feel so loving, so great, so pure. I hope you've enjoyed our segment today, and I'm really appreciating this time in the ashram with folks that I really respect and love, and that we actually haven't had this amount of time together because we've always been so busy. And I have to say I feel very moved by the fact that because I've lived such a disciplined life and I've had such a routine and a pattern, that this is, like I said yesterday, business as usual. But I really want you to find something that fulfills your passion. Keep creating a collective energy of purity and peace in the atmosphere. And don't ever give up on the power of positive thinking. It's going to be our life savior. It's going to be our breath. Thank you for joining us today. Please keep yourself safe. Please keep in touch with the CDC and keep updated. You don't have to have the news on 24/7, but you do check in ever so often. And remember, breathe and just pause. Om Shanti. Take care of yourself.
Go, I release, and I know I forgive, I receive, I can feel, I believe, I am healed. I am whole, I release, I to push, no need to try, no need to worry or question why. Surrender